Good afternoon, everyone. It is Ashley and Amber and a couple of faces that you should know. And if you don't know, you will soon. This is Weekly Drip Season 7, Episode 14. And today we're hanging out with our friends from the Dripping Springs Community Library. And they're having a really big week this week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, all the things. Thanks for hanging out with us today. As always, guys, we hang out here every Tuesday at 2-ish o'clock. So it must be Tuesday at 2-ish o'clock with my co-host Amber. Say hello. Take it from here for us.
Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we are so excited to welcome Mindy Laird, who is our Dripping Springs Community Library Director, as well as Jessica Seeger, who is our Dripping Springs Library Dripping Springs Community Library Programs Manager. And they are joining us today to talk about all things library. And there's been so much happening in the last couple years over there. So we just had we wanted to just get some updates, find out what's going on, where we're going from here, and just share with our community where we're at and what you can expect from the library coming up. So thank you so much for joining us this week. Again, I feel like we already said this at least 2-3 times, but we are so excited to have you here this week.
Well, we're super excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us on as guests. We're super excited to dive in and talk about our 40th year anniversary. Also, our kickoff to summer is upon us, so we're excited about that. And also, just hearing what burning questions you guys have about what's happening with the library.
Yeah. Hey, Mindy and Jessica, go ahead and introduce yourselves as who is who, because I didn't get the names down here. So
I'm Mindy Laird. Yeah, I'm the director at the Dripping Springs Community Library. I've been there about, I guess, 2.5 years now.
And I'm Jessica Seeger. I'm coming up on my year anniversary, and I am the programs manager at the library, and I'm super excited to share some of the fun things we've got going on.
So most recently, I feel like anyone who's following the library saw this grand adventure that you went on to go pick up the new library on wheels. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. But more than that, we were just so excited to really have brought this idea to life. This came from a conversation that we had pretty early on when I came on board. We kept hearing people say, I couldn't get down to the program because of traffic or because of this barrier or something that was going on where they couldn't actually come to the physical library. And we both knew that with the new library, that wasn't necessarily going to change based on the location that the new library is going to be going. And so we brainstormed, well, what can we do? And the Library on Wheels kind of came as this idea that we brought to life, and going to get it up in Maryland was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, something about our area, our population that we serve, the ETJ that they call it, is really widespread. I think it's 110 square miles. So, for those of us like myself that live on the far east side of town, it takes a little bit of time to get down here on the west side of town. So, when I started, we kind of knew that these barriers existed. I started when I got here really kind of thinking about like an Amazon type locker. It's a holds locker. Libraries have them, but somewhere where we could have an extra place where people drop off books or pick up their holds, just to kind of, like Jessica said, continue to break down some of those barriers to access to the physical location. And then when Jessica and I got here, we just started talking about it. And we're like, what about a vehicle? And pretty quickly, we got the wheels moving, no pun intended. So yeah, we hopped on a plane. We went to a national conference for outreach vehicles, and we got to go on all different kinds of outreach vehicles, see them all in person, talk about what would work well for our community. And we fell in love with this precious pop-up truck, and just really thought about all of the ways that we could not only reach our community with resources, but also offer programming. And so we decided, let's do it. I know we've got this big campaign going on for a new building, but it's not, this or that. It was kind of like this and that. This is going to complement this really well into the future. And, really a lot of other libraries have already done this. So yeah, I think within, I guess, what was that conference up to October?
Like October.
Yeah. So from October, and now here we are in May with the vehicle. And yeah, the journey home was fantastic. We flew to Maryland.
I want to hear about the journey home.
Yes.
I want to know what was on the playlist across the country. That's something I'm super curious about. And I also want to add a little punctuation because you mentioned our ETJ, but fun fact, our ETJ is the largest in the state of Texas.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
True story. And it originates from back in the 70s when Austin was starting to grow. Dripping looked up and said, well, we don't really want to become Austin. And so they started doing what's known, it's called a daisy chain. So whenever you look at the map of the ETJ, it kind of looks like Swiss cheese, and it is literally the biggest in the state. So when you're saying, we have to serve a large area, I just wanted to kind of punctuate you're serving the largest area in the state of Texas, which is pretty cool.
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
I know. Fun fact that we will be repeating.
Yeah. I did not know that. I knew it was very large, and we also serve. Anyone that lives, works, or attends school in Hays County can have free access to all of our resources, get a free library card. So yeah, it even stretches beyond our ETJ, which is already so big. But yes, playlist, I feel like our playlist was a lot, we'll talk about our trip. Our playlist was a lot of girl power. I feel like we were we got this. We had a lot of Ella Langley.
Yeah, we did have a lot of Ella Langley.
Taylor Swift we had going on.
This all makes sense. This all makes so much sense.
Dolly, we had so much Dolly.
We did try to theme some of the things. We went to Dollywood. I don't know. We weren't allowed to put it necessarily on social media. I think it's okay to say here, but Dolly Parton and the Imagination Library was a stop that we went to because they donated.
Wow.
They did not want us putting that out there because they can't fulfill all the requests. But that was really special to us. We actually nicknamed the Library on Wheels Dolly. So if you hear us refer to her as Dolly, that's why.
That's so cute.
We were enamored with that. And so that was a lot of fun. So we did listen to some Dolly Parton. We had so many. I reached out to a bunch of different libraries and bookstores along the way and was just so amazed at how many responded and were willing to say hey, bring your Library on Wheels by. We'd love to see it. We'd love to connect with you. Some big ones were Nashville Public Library. I don't know if you knew this, but they have one of the biggest puppet show productions. They have this huge room. It's incredible. And they above and beyond, took us backstage, took us down a freight elevator down to the basement to show us all of their puppets, thousands of puppets.
From the 1930s.
Yeah.
I feel like there's many books that start something like this. Come down to my basement. Let me show you.
Or something. Yeah. Come see all my puppets. I actually said to her, I was like, could you imagine cleaning this room at night? It might be so.
I feel like that'd be so creepy.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-puppet by any means, but I feel like puppets in a dark, quiet, secluded area, that might be a little bit creepy.
We didn't think about it, but if you really were.
I definitely did.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. But Nashville was great. Memphis Library also, they have a foundation that kind of partners with their library. So they gave us a tour. We're so sweet, connected with us. And it was just a lot of fun. We probably the one story that was the hiccup was the Library of Congress. They actually reached out to us, offered to give us a tour of the Library of Congress, which was really amazing, right? That they did that. The last people I expected to hear from. However, 45 minutes after getting our brand new bookmobile was not maybe the time to go to DC.
Oh gosh. Yeah, not great timing.
Well, you had to go through multiple security checks. So they were kind of treating us like we were bringing a delivery truck to Capitol Hill, right? And so they were like, all right, go to this first security check. And they're like, all right, get out of the car, open every compartment. We don't even know how to open all the compartments yet. and they're like, take out your luggage, x-ray everything. And then they're like, it was very obscure. It was weird. It was like next checkpoint.
Yeah, they're like Washington and Delaware. We were like, where's that?
We have an address and go down the hill. There's an unmarked,
like a wild goose chase.
It's really wild.
It's like the library on wheels was like deep state, you know, like trust nobody, especially these two women blasting their Dolly Parton out of this wrapped library vehicle. Nobody's trusted here.
Yeah.
What was really
y'all kind of touched on it briefly, just about that. While we're so excited to bring this, that this isn't a situation where it's the library on wheels or the building. So I'd love to go back to that and talk about what's going on with the capital campaign. Where are we at with that? Where is our fundraising at, and what can we expect moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. We completed a capital campaign refresh kind of at the beginning of this year, just, you know, making sure we were on the right track. One of the things with this project, it's a very large project. It is large in size. It is large in budget. If you don't know about the Dripping Springs Community Library and how we receive funding, we are not part of a municipality. So, you know, we get our money from sales tax revenue and also from our 501c3 status through donations. So it's a unique challenge to try to find funding for a building this size. But, you know, we believe this building is going to be a fantastic addition to our fast growing community, but also serve us really well, you know, way into the future. So we're moving along. I think, you know, the biggest update in the past year is that we have a project manager on board. Just this past week, we signed with our construction manager at risk. So we are working with J.E. Dunn as our construction manager. So they are getting the ball rolling on their first part of that. We are working with the city on our site development plan right now and our permitting. And then the funding, we are still working out and ironing the pieces of that. The main funding source will be like a loan, like a traditional loan. So, you know, it's about a $30 million project. So a vast majority of that is going to be securing the financing. So, you know, we've run into some hiccups along the way of trying to find the most financially responsible way of doing that, but we're really close and I'm very excited about it. So hopefully we have an update really soon on that final funding, but we're still moving forward with the capital campaign and the $5 million goal. Let's see, at the end of 2025, we had 2.2 million committed and we received 1.8 million. And so that is fantastic. So we're still chugging along, getting really close, and hope to, you know, continue to do some outreach and fundraising activities as we kind of progress in the construction progress and funding progress.
So what I'm hearing is that we're not quite done yet.
No, we still got a long way to go, but that's okay. I mean, we're getting closer than ever, and I'm really excited. I think that our timeline to start vertical construction in 2027 is still on point, and hopefully you start preparing the site at the end of the summer, early fall. You know, all of that kind of depends on permitting and funding and things like that. But
all of the things you don't get, unfortunately, libraries don't get to skip all of the steps, still have to go through all of the steps that everybody else has to go through.
Yeah, but so much progress has been made. So it's been really great to witness, because when I started here, this was already in progress. So it's been fun to kind of watch it move along.
Mindy and Jessica, I have a quick question. So a couple of years ago, I saw like the first renderings of the proposed new library. Have those changed at all, or is that still the vision, mission, and goal for everything?
Yeah, that's still the vision and the mission. We've actually been done with design documents for a while.
Great.
And so, yeah, it's still going to look as you have seen in renderings, which is so beautiful. I'm very excited. Yeah,
I can't wait.
I know. It's awesome.
What was really cool too is if anyone came by our booth on Founders Day, we were actually able to take some of the scenes from the architect and the design team and put them into virtual reality. So some of the community members got
that's cool.
The grand staircase with the butterflies coming down, right when you walk in the door, what it looks like. So that got everyone pretty excited. So we'll have those kind of out and about this summer at different programs, but for sure stop by the library because it's really fun to see what the future is going to look like.
It's like you're sitting in there and you can look all around. So it's really it gets us excited. When we saw, we
geeked out.
Yeah, we stretched. We were like,
we were really
this excited.
Is so fun. That's so awesome. And y'all have a very special event coming up next week. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, summer kickoff. So this is probably one of our biggest events of the year. Anyone can come. It's all in our parking lot. And so what it's meant to do is just get kids really excited about coming to the library, about reading, and free children's entertainment. That's really what we're about this summer. Is we're here for the families. We do have some cool adult stuff too.
Can you say that again? Did I hear free children's entertainment?
Yes. Both of us are moms. We 100% know, the story of I'm bored 1,000 times over the summer. So, if you're not, look at our website. We have so many different programs, but start with our summer kickoff, which is next Monday. So it's June 1st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll have free snow cones, cotton candy, popcorn. Bee's Knees Lemonade will be there. There'll be balloon artists, petting zoo. So many of our partners are coming with robotics and inflatables. I mean, you name it, it's there. So we're going to have a really great time and we hope you'll be a part of it. And then also our summer reading challenge. So that's a huge part of our summer programming is trying to inspire kids to read. And we know the best way to do that is with prizes.
It doesn't hurt. I love the yellow brick road that y'all did last year for the kids area. Philip was so excited to color his brick and put it up each time. And he actually got to be the final brick that closed it up. And he thought that was the coolest thing of forever.
Sweet. I love that. Just their visible name or recognition and intrinsic motivation of I did it. But yeah,
I mean, same. Who doesn't like to have that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really exciting. And we use a platform called Beanstack.
Yes.
So I kind of I'm sure in the book club we have some Goodreads fans because I love a good. I just like to track my progress and rate all my books, and I like to add my finished dates. And Beanstack is a similar platform, but we can run our summer reading through Beanstack. So it's really neat because we've got it for kids and teens and adults all in one spot. So I really love that we can do that through there as well.
And you can sign up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, y'all can sign up now. It starts officially June 1st on Monday. But you can go ahead and head over to dscl.beanstack.com on our website. Yeah.
And where is the best place for everyone to check in for updates about the library and programming and everything that's going on?
We try to give it as many ways as we can. So for sure, our website. I mean, we have on our main page a carousel running that has summer 2026. You can click on that. It's also up at the top under programs. And then we send it in newsletters. We have one that's supposed to go out today, and then we'll have another newsletter next week. And then also social media. If you're not following us, I highly suggest following us because we just give a lot of different reminders about upcoming programs, and you might get to see some fun silliness that happens at the library.
Y'all's page is fun to watch. And the last thing that I would love to ask y'all, other than what is coming up next week with the summer kickoff, what event or program do you have coming up that you are most excited about?
Okay, so
you have a lot.
I know. This is like me choosing my favorite child. That's how I. They're all so fun because they're all for different ages. I mean, some to just name a few that I think are kind of fun and new. We have a baby rave happening, which I think is going to be so cute for the babies. We have a foam party happening in our courtyard, which, really is for all ages of kids. And then we're partnering with like Innovation Treehouse. They're offering Lego Spike programming and coding, and then it's going to end in a mock robotics competition. I don't know. It's so hard.
I looked the other day, and for myself, I was excited about, there's a, you can make a clay cactus, like ring jewelry holder.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought was really cute. I like the arts. And then there was, it might be for
fun and functional.
Yeah. Yeah. And the jewelry making, the Western bandana.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trend with like the bandana charm, like necklaces? I'm not sure if that's for teens.
It is. No, we're doing one for adults and one for teens. We're actually doing two.
We actually did that craft at one of our book club get-togethers.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
But I want to say I'm excited. On June 3rd at 1 o'clock, I'll be doing a past, present, and future presentation just in honor of the 40th year. The actual 40th year is on June 7th, which we're having our butterfly workshop on that day. Yeah, I'm just going to be talking a little bit about how we came to be and where we are versus where we've been and where we're going. So I'm excited to talk to everyone about that as well.
So a deep dive update on all the things. Oh, I love that. That's so wonderful. Well, goodness, I feel like it would be so easy to do like an hour-long show with y'all because there's just so much that the library is doing with our community and so many things going on. Like you said, you just named off all of those things. And of all of the things that I know that are happening at the library, those ones I didn't even know about. So whether you have already looked at the calendar or you haven't, highly recommend taking a look. Things are being added all the time. There literally is something for everyone there. If you can't find something that interests you or your children or your family, I personally feel like you're just not looking at the calendar.
or email me. I'm a yes person. We try to get as much as we can that community feedback says they want.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this week for the weekly drip. Again, we so appreciate you. We appreciate what you are doing for the community, and we are so excited to see what happens moving forward and getting that building and just thriving in this community. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ashley, did you have anything else?
No, Jessica and Mindy, I'm just going to echo Amber's sentiment. Thanks for hanging out with us. Guys, as you know, we hang out every Tuesday, 2-ish o'clock, and we'll see y'all this time next week.